Growing up in Lexington was, I think, a wonderful experience for me, being surrounded with family. My passions were just of any little boy, playing hard, playing outside, building tree houses. Something that really stands out to me in my childhood was when I had an accident that happened on my big wheel when I was 5 years old. I was taking a ride following my mom on her bicycle, and I had an accident where I flipped over and I skinned my knee, and this was in 1980 when I was 5 years old, like I said. And nothing really happened from that experience other than 2 weeks later there was another incident that had happened with my brother and I where I had slipped on the concrete pretty bad at my grandfather's house. And they took me to the hospital for fear of, any kind of messing with my head. They didn't want anything to be wrong. So they rushed me to the hospital, and little did they know that I had an infection from my skinned knee 2 weeks prior, an infection called bacterial endocarditis. In 1980, this was an infection, a staph infection that affects your bloodstream, and I had a 0% chance of living.
He had a typically fatal heart disease. It's not curable. It either goes away or it kills you.
It's only a miracle by the grace of God that I am here today, that I've been blessed with the life that God's given me. That's really where this whole story begins.
He very much believes that, those are pieces of his life that God's put in place, along with the singing and artistic success that he's had to build his story.
I had my life planned pretty much to attend Cincinnati Bible College on a vocal scholarship, and I had visited the school. I had a lot of plans. I was in my U.S. history class, and the intercom came over the room and said that I had a telephone call in the office. So the first thought in my mind was, where's my mom and dad? Where's my big brother? Is my family okay? And rushed to the office and pick up the phone, and it's my cousin Kevin. And he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And I said, "Kevin?" He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What are you doing calling me at school?" And he's like, "Well, I gotta tell you, I just couldn't wait any longer. There's this group that I'm involved in, and I'm singing in this group, and I want you to come down and sing and see if you gel with the guys." And I was like, "Okay." So I flew to Orlando. I met the guys and spent about a week with them. Flew back home and got all of my stuff and dumped it in my truck, and away I went.
He is pretty clear that the Lord has led him all the way, and the purpose of his life is to honor God, whether in the music industry, the entertainment industry, or in some other form of a work.
It's not a story necessarily of any one thing, healing, redemption. It's a story of all those things wrapped up in a pretty interesting life that continues to point back to God.
There's been many miracles that have happened in my life to really mold me to who I am today. And I get a chance to talk about those blessings now, which is a blessing in itself.